Hi, Boys and Girls Club kids. It's Miss JoAnne from Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Louisiana here in the Slidell Club, or should I say, in the rainforest. The rainforest is one of my most favorite habitats. I have had an opportunity to go to 3 different rainforests. I love the animals, the sounds, the sights, everything about it. So rainforests are in many, many continents, in most continents, but they all are found right around the equator. And you probably know why, because it's a hot area there. So Mr. Joanne's had an opportunity to go to a rainforest in Belize, a rainforest in Puerto Rico, and a rainforest in the country of Colombia, and as well as in Panama. So I love visiting rainforests. Rainforests are such a unique place. Again, I said there's so many animals. And I think that when we look at the rainforest, it's important to remember or understand some basic concepts. So I brought my own rainforest today. So rainforests are found, like I said, found all over the world. And as you can guess, it's pretty wet and humid and hot there. In fact, rainforests get anywhere between 77 and 400 inches of rain. Believe it or not, rainforests are able to create their own rain, which I'm going to show you in just a minute in an experiment how that works. The thing about rainforest is it also helps keep our planet clean. It helps the trees clean the air, and it keeps our water fresh and all those kind of things. Another thing that's important about the rainforest is that we get a lot of food and a lot of our medicines from the rainforest. There's over 120 different medicines that we get from plants from the rainforest. And we get things like bananas and citrus fruit and coconut and chocolate, all from the rainforest. And more than half the world's animals live in the rainforest. And the unique reason is why is there's different levels of the rainforest. So it's like they live on top of each other. So just like if you were in an apartment building, they're gonna be different areas. So when we start with the layers of the rainforest, you're gonna start with first, the forest floor. This would be the forest floor down here. Now it's kind of dark because there's not a lot of sunlight that's getting through. But this is where you're gonna find lots of leaves. You're gonna find things like ants, and you're gonna find different bugs and different creepy crawlies down there. You might see termites or even armadillos, centipedes are all gonna be there. Then we come to the understory. So this would be our understory here. It's a little taller, right here, than the floor. And there you would find things like vines and ferns and small trees that are growing. You're gonna find birds and snakes up in the trees, and jaguars and leopards are gonna live up there too, as well as frogs and chameleons. Now, the canopy is right here, and it's kind of closely packed, and so there's a little bit more sun, but not a lot. And there you're gonna find a lot of things like flowering plants and fungi that grow up there, even orchids, and this plant right here, the bromeliad, is going to live in trees up there. You're also gonna find animals like sloths and monkeys. Now finally, your highest or your top area of the rainforest are your emergence. So this can be very, very hot. And we're not even sure of all the animals that live up in that area because it's so hot that scientists really can't study it. But it's windy up there, and a lot of times you're gonna find a lot of the different monkeys that are up there. Now, I told you that the rainforest makes its own rain, and that is very true. What happens is, you have all these trees, and the water is down below when it rains. Now, the heat heats things up, and it kind of steams, and the steam grows until it gets to the top, and it cools. And when it cools, the rain comes down. So let's take a look and see how that might work. We're gonna create rain. Now, I just have a clear glass jar here, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna pour some hot water in it. Now, if you try this at home, please be careful and please make sure you have a grown-up's help. So this water is pretty hot, and I'm going to put a top on it. Now, as you can see, already it's starting to steam up here. Now what we're going to do is you're going to see the steam and all begin to collect towards the top of the plate. Well, just like it does at the top of the rainforest, you're going to have a cooling aspect. So I brought along some ice, and we are going to put some ice up here. Now, if you keep a close look, what you'll see is the water will begin to be condensation, and little by little is that water that comes up to the top. it's going to start to drip down, just like it does in the rainforest. While we wait for that to happen, I wanted to tell you about something I think that's really, really cool. And it's one of the plants in the rainforest, and it's called a rafflesia. It's a pretty big plant. It can be up to 3 feet big, and it opens up at night. But this is not a kind of plant that you would, or a flower that you would want to pick and bring home, because it smells. Are you ready like this? For this? Like rotten meat. Rotten meat. It attracts bugs and that kind of thing, and that's the reason it smells that way. It's the rafflesia. Maybe some of you may have seen the orchids in stores. Those also grow up in the trees and the vines of the rainforest. And lastly, here is what's called a bromeliad. Now, a bromeliad would also be found up in the trees of the rainforest. Something that's interesting about the bromeliad is it collects rain in its flower here. As you can see, there's little areas. So water is held in this area, and your tree frogs will actually come in here and they will lay eggs. And that is where some of the tadpoles will live for a small while. So there's so many interesting animals and plants in the rainforest. Let's take a look right here. Oh, I'm starting to see some water drip down. If you look really closely, you might be able to see what's happening. The water is cooling at the top because we have the ice, and you're starting to see some rain or water drop. Why don't you give that a try at home and let us know how it works out? All right, I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye-bye.